up, Skins fans? So this video today, of course, you see in the title, wants to talk about training camp battles. I think I'm hearing that training camp is going to be starting July 25th, if I'm not mistaken. It will not be in Richmond this year, as we all know. It will be in Ashburn. So there's a lot of training camp battles that I want to talk about. I'm going to name 3, and then I'm going to talk about some honorable mention picks. As the word, Scott Turner has said, Ron Rivera, Jack Del Rio, competition. I'm so tired of hearing that word. I just can't wait for training camp to get here and the season to get here. If we have a season, I think we're going to have a season. And then later in the video, I do want to talk about the Ron Rivera press conference that he had yesterday. And talk about a little bit about what Dwayne Haskins had to say yesterday as well. So let's get into it. My first training camp battle that I'm looking forward to really is Ryan Kerrigan versus Montez Sweat. Ryan Kerrigan's a beast. He's ready to break the sack record for the Redskins. I think he will. I think he might retire Redskin. We just gotta find out what's gonna happen with that $11.5 million per year contract. It has to be restructured, or when he becomes a free agent, re-sign him again for a cheaper deal, maybe $5 million per year range, or something less than that. He's had some injuries last year. He's been the Iron Man of the team. Last year was the first time he ever missed a game, so it was crazy. Thanks to Logan Thomas with the dirty hit, the cheap shot. So Montez Sweat, we all know he's the young guy. He's my breakout player of the year pick. I think the sky is the limit for him. He broke out last year in the last few games, sacking Dak, forcing the fumbles. Played really well towards the end. Had 7 sacks last year. So, I think Chase Young is a shoo-in to start. So I think on the other side is really the battle. Who's going to start? I think it's between, of course, Montez Sweat for the other edge position between Montez and Ryan Kerrigan. Now, it can go either way, honestly, because Ryan Kerrigan is the veteran. He's been here, done that. We know what he can do. Montez is still a little bit of a question mark. I think I know what he can do, or we think we know his potential. The 4.440, 4.540, whatever it was, the long arms, the size. He has all the physical tools and the explosiveness to get it done. And I think Chase Young being there will help Montez Sweat be the breakout player of the year. So who's going to win that training camp battle? Who's going to start between Montez versus Ryan Kerrigan? It's a tough one. I really have a feeling that Montez Sweat is going to start, and then Ryan Kerrigan will be that rotational pass rusher. Pass rushers usually end up towards the end of the end of their careers. So, that's just what I think. But it can go either way. Ron Rivera loves his veterans, and he also loves playing the young guys too. So I have Montez Sweat winning that battle, starting on the other edge position. Ryan Kerrigan coming off the bench. And like I said, either or. Like Jack Del Rio said, there's almost like an all-star team where there's not enough basketballs going around. Where Matt Ioannidis is probably not going to start, or Daron Payne between those guys. Between Jonathan Allen. Matt Ioannidis played better than the Bama boys arguably last year. So somebody's not going to start, and it doesn't really matter who starts, it matters who finishes the game, so it's going to be a tough rotation for our defense. And I love it. I love the competition. I love it. When you have so many elite players at a position, as you're talking about Montez Sweat versus Ryan Kerrigan, that's something that you love to hear. Because on the other side, you have Chase Young. So if one of those guys gets tired, you just pick up the slack with one of the other guys. So my second is Kelvin Harmon versus Antonio Gandy Golden, the rookie out of Liberty. Kelvin Harmon showed flashes towards the end of the year, kind of like Montez Sweat. Just like how Steven Sims showed flashes in the years when they got more opportunities, when there was a different coaching staff. So AGG, of course, the rookie, is incredible, great hands, super athletic, smart guy on and off the field. Like I said before, does the Rubik's Cube, gymnastics guy, super athletic. The sky is the limit with Antonio Gandy Golden. Doesn't create a lot of separation, kind of like Kelvin Harmon, but is great at breaking tackles like Kelvin Harmon, great hands like Kelvin Harmon, great at contested catches like Kelvin Harmon. So they're both very similar, and they're both not super fast, but they're fast enough, in my opinion. I think Antonio Gandy Golden is faster than Kelvin because Kelvin's more of a possession receiver, and then the jump balls, Antonio Gandy Golden is better than that because just off the sheer raw athleticism that Antonio Gandy Golden has. So I think in that battle, I think Kelvin's going to start. He's going to end up starting week 1 for us, and then later down the year, Antonio Gandy Golden, he's going to start somewhere. He's going to find a way on the roster where I want to say by game 8, he's going to be starting. That's just how I feel. But Kelvin Harmon's a beast. I think the sky is the limit for him. Of course, Dwayne Haskins calls him Baby Julio. That's yet to be seen. But I got a feeling Kelvin Harmon's going to start. And you just see how the way Kelvin Harmon was breaking tackles in that Packers game and breaking tackles in other games, the one-handed catch against the Lions. He showed a lot of flashes and a lot of potential. And speaking of Ron Rivera, that's why I'm happy he said that we're not going after Antonio Brown. We have some young guys on the roster like Steve Sims, Terry McLaurin, Calvin Harmon, and Antonio Gandy-Golden, but they have a lot of potential. We have to see what these young guys have. We don't need to bring in any more distractions. Any guys that can't stay out of trouble off the field. We don't have time for that right now. So let's let the young guys play. Let's see what Calvin Harmon has. Let's see what Steve Sims can do. We saw what Steve Sims did last year. Let's let him develop and get even better. We can create our own possible posse with these great talents in Calvin Harmon, Terry McLaurin, who showed that he should be able to make a Pro Bowl this year, in my opinion. Steve Sims should be a good slot receiver, and Antonio Gandy-Golden shows a lot of potential as well. Another battle for me was a low-key one. Shout out to Pedro saying this one. I'm going to say this one after this one. I'm going to say the guard position of Wes Martin and Wes Schweitzer. I think Wes Martin's going to win that one, so I'm going to keep this one short. Wes Schweitzer wasn't bad with the Falcons, but they are going to be battling for that left guard spot. And Ron, it's a new guy. This is the guy that Ron has signed and bought in. And, he's watched film on Wes Martin. But, so we'll see. I got Wes Martin winning that battle. And the last but not least, which is the fourth one, I said 3, but this is an honorable mention. I'm going to go with James Smith-Williams out of NC State, the defensive end, versus Jordan Belfort. Who's going to make the roster? This one is who's going to make the roster. Not start, but who's going to make the roster at the low end of our defensive end. Jordan Belfort was a beast in college. James Smith-Williams was okay. He had a couple injuries here and there, 7th-round pick. But I got Jordan Belfort making the team over James Smith-Williams. I wouldn't sleep on him. And then, of course, you got to look at the safety positions as well. Will Troy Aikman be cut? Is Cameron Curl going to come in and take somebody's spot? Of course, DeShazer Everett will be there. Sean Davis will be there. But is Troy Aikman somehow going to be a surprise cut? So he has to battle for a job as well. Josh Harvey-Clemens will be battling against other guys for a job. The tight end training camp battle is going to be crazy as well. Jeremy Sprinkle versus Thaddeus Moss and Hale Hinches, Rob Rogers, or Richard Rogers, whatever his name is, Richard Rogers. So those are some battles right there. You guys let me know if I left out any training camp battles that you guys are looking forward to. Any names, like do you think Ronald Darby would possibly be? I don't think he will. Could he end up like an Orlando Scandrick? I don't think that will happen, but who knows? So we'll see. And then to get to Ron Rivera's press conference, he did address Adrian Peterson deciding to kneel. I support the movement, of course. He talked about Black Lives Matter. Of course, I support that movement as well. And then he talked about Dwayne Haskins. He had a lot of good things to say about Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins lost weight. He had an interview as well. I think he was 238 pounds, and he's 215 pounds right now. He said that's the lightest he's been since he was in college, about a year and a half ago. So that's good to see. I hope it translates to the field. He said he's going to be more dynamic, so I like to hear that from Dwayne Haskins. He talks about the maturity, about maturing and growing up as a man and as a person. Ron Rivera said that Dwayne Haskins calls him a lot and texts him a lot. So those are good things to hear. So we're hearing great things off the field about Dwayne Haskins and Ron Rivera. One thing I like that Ron Rivera said, he talked about Ryan Anderson. We got to find him spots. I really want to see Ryan Anderson play a lot more. He talked about the left tackle position. That is a position of concern. Sadiq Charles is a rookie. Cornelius Lucas is a swing tackle. He could start for us. Who knows? So it is a big question mark. It is a huge, huge question mark. Of course, he addressed the Antonio Brown thing. Somebody asked him about Antonio Brown. And, of course, he dismissed that. He just wants to see more from the young guys. And I agree. There's no point of bringing him in. Now, if Steve Sims, somebody, I don't even want to speak into the air. If they're not available, then maybe we'll look at another veteran receiver. But like I said, I believe in Steve Sims. I believe in Terry McLaurin. A lot of people keep comparing Steve Sims to Antonio Brown. His coaches and different scouts and different players, fans have compared Steve Sims to Antonio. I'm not one of them, but I have to see more, a lot more, of course. But I am a big believer in Steve Sims, and I'm a big believer in Terry. I think everybody's a big believer in Terry McLaurin. Calvin Harmon, I want to see more AGG as a rookie. So I believe in those guys. I think they're going to be a lot better than what people give them credit for. So I'm happy that Ron Rivera stuck up for his young guys and said that yesterday. So I'm happy to hear that. So those are good things that I heard. Once again, you guys let me know what training camp battles you have. Next week I will be going live again at 7 p.m. with a special guest from an NFC East team. He's a good guy. He's a humble guy. His name is Philly Talk Podcast. I'll probably put his link in the description because I probably won't be making a video until next Tuesday when the stream happens. So he is a great guy, good guy. He's like one of the few humble Eagles fans I've ever met in my life. You know how Eagles fans, they love to flap their gums. They talk about they swept us the last couple, which they have. But when we had RG3, when they had Chip Kelly, we swept them. Actually, they had Andy Reid, and then we swept them again to win the NFC East Championship in 2015. So they really can't talk that much. We kind of trade beating up on each other. There's years where we have swept them. There's years where they have swept us. So it is what it is. I think we're gonna beat them week 1. That's my prediction. So comment any questions you guys want, or you can just come into the stream and just ask questions on Tuesday as you want to ask me and Philly Talk Podcast. Once again, shout out to the Elite channel member. Shout out to B Swift Beats. Shout out to my man's Abu Ho, OnlySkins member, and shout out to Redskins Bay 12. I'll put their link in the description as well. If you do want to become a channel member, you can sign up down low in the description as well. Pretty cool stuff, pretty cool perks. One cool thing is a private live stream with me once a month for about 30 minutes with OnlySkins Elite channel members. That's the top tier level. Of course, you get discount on Teespring t-shirts from my channel. And also the Elite channel member, which is the 3rd level, you get to talk about how you became a Redskins fan, and I get to shout you out if you do become the top tier level member. So, all right, you guys, I hope you guys have a great weekend, man. Enjoy the good weather. I'll see you guys on Tuesday on the stream. All right, y'all, hail to them skins. Peace.